Hey, what's up everybody? Hope everyone's doing good today. It's almost a new year, 2024. This is the end of 2023. Got one day left here. Anyway, if you see my videos recently, we are redoing our basement. It is a total mess. We have this TV down here, and we had one of these crappy shelves holding the PS4, and there was like a Blu-ray player or whatever, and a PS3 and stuff like that. My little one likes to play down here. We like to play together on the PlayStation sometimes, and wanted to build something a lot better. On top of having one of these fireplaces that came in one of those really crappy made deals from Walmart. There's like a huge old school type TV stand from like 10 years ago. Anyway, the fireplace still works good, and I'm sure you can buy these by themselves. It's fairly lightweight, but it does breathe in the top. So my goal is to be able to build something here. I'm going to kind of go over what I'm doing. As always, there's lots of ways to do everything, so I'm showing how I'm doing it. I don't have any plans or anything. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. So what I did first is I decided how wide. So what I did is I came in just a few inches from that side of the TV and that side of the TV. So this is just a little bit narrower, and this is a 65-inch TV for reference, even though that's measured diagonally, but still. So I went ahead and cut our trim down here, as you can see there. Same thing over here, and I cut my board, fit it right here in the back. Now we are dealing with the concrete wall here, so I went ahead and decided how tall I'm gonna make it, and I'm making this a little bit lower. You can see where the shelf was up here. This is about the top of the shelf for those old holes. This will be a little bit shorter, so he's 4, so he can reach the, the controller chargers and change the game, so on and so forth. So I put a concrete bolt in there and there, and these are like 3-inch. Did it on both sides and leveled them. Went and angled a screw down into here to hold this. Same thing over here. Then I have these are 12 inches. And I put a screw down in there just like that. So I'm gonna keep going, but that's what I have so far. There'll end up being a top, and then I'm probably actually gonna try to use some drywall. A lot of this stuff I've always built with like wide wood, but this stuff gets expensive, and I have so much extra drywall from doing that new wall over there. You can see the mud's drying. So I'm gonna try to do some drywall on the sides and maybe on the front. Looks like the main thing is, again, on this is the breather where it pulls in air. So I'm gonna have to have some type of little gap somewhere for that to be able to pull air in and then push the heat out. Next, I cut another one of these, same length. It's my face board, and I screwed it on. Duplicated these, so I have the front ones. They're a little wobbly right now, and they'll straighten out once I get the other pieces. Like that. And again, I just angled a screw there, and then I angled a screw in there. Make sure you hold it really still, because they try to move, slide a little bit when you're angling screws in. Try to get it all on the video here. Duplicated those short end boards and put some up here. Again, I want them on the outside since I'm going to do drywall to make the outside look a little nicer. And also, one more time, I have never done this before or built really any type of entertainment stand style deal at all. So we'll see how this turns out. Ran my board across the front there. Now you can kind of see the box a little bit better. So I measured the fireplace here. It's about 25 inches wide. Wanted to make the nice base for it to set off the ground. Obviously, because these 2x4s would have hit the bottom of it. And this whole thing's 51 inches. So I just kind of brought so my 25 inches say starts about right here and right here. So I just brought my boards in a little bit for the support to be, I think, about right. Again, this fireplace is, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds. This should be very sufficient to hold it. Yes, I'm sitting on the ground making this. You see my reflection there. Anyway, so this is about how it's set. I'm not crazy about how it sticks out like that. I guess it just gives a little bit of character. But the drywall realistically should set right inside this lip. So I'll actually have to build a frame out of wood. Which kind of makes it tricky then too. So I'll have to think about that, because if this thing ever goes bad and I need to replace it, if I have the wood there, I'm gonna have to take off the drywall and then take apart the actual frame to get it out. Or maybe actually could stick it out a little bit more, have my 2x4s actually go behind it so that slides into it, if that makes sense. I'm not sure. I'll have to do some thinking about it, do this here. So this is where we're at now. I have this piece here, which I think I showed you a minute ago. Took out the fireplace, added just a little bit extra space. Again, this is 25 inches, and we have like 25 inches and a quarter. So there's a little bit of wiggle room so we can get it out of here if we need to replace it in the future. Always got to think about the future because nothing like this lasts forever. I have these boards here. So if you can kind of imagine, I'm going to try to do with the drywall here. And then this will probably be like a shelf, I think, and then there'll be the top. So that's where we're at. And then, of course, drywall on the sides. Then I'll paint it, and it'll actually probably be the same color as our wall back here. It kind of just blend into the wall. All right, so it's been a minute since I did an update. It's these side pieces in that'll support my shelf boards running across there. These are just sitting here. They're not attached. You can tell they're bowed, but I'll hook another 2x4 up on there and then it'll suck them all together. I have a little bit of an overhang I'm gonna go for. That way my trim on the edge of the corner of the drywall can come up under them. It'll look better. What I'm gonna have to do back here now, so I'm gonna have to leave this gap, not only for the cords, but for that heater to breathe. So I'm probably gonna pick a 2x4 up and down like this to kind of make a back. It might make it look a little nicer too, I'm not sure. I do the same thing down here with the shelves. And then there'll be a gap for again for that heater down here to breathe. And for the cords to run down through. So that's where I'm at right now. Let's put the shelf board. I just got laid back there. You can see it actually works out because this 1.5 inches of this 2x4 actually should be leaving the perfect gap for my cords and stuff to go down in there, which I really like. And the end of these will sit flush here with the end when the top overhangs. So for my front board here, I did have to notch it. Unfortunately, my notches are a little too big. Hopefully I can do something with the drywall, making it come over a little bit farther or something to cover that up. Either way, this is on our basement, not that big of a deal. See, I got a little bit of a gap over there too, probably a good 1/4 inch. But this is done. It's just gotta all be screwed down, fastened together. Got that gap back there, so that's what we get. Just a little update. All right, guys, it's been about another hour. I had to go out to the shop and get some more wood here. So I got this shelf screwed in. I just got to do the ends, but the middle is, and you can see I just put some board under there for the support. Same way as that, screwed all these down. You can see my backer board there so stuff don't slide down to the crack. I'm thinking on one end or the other, which I didn't think about this before. It's so far for like some of the stuff to plug into. The cords will either need to go up and they'll need to be behind the TV, or have like a small door on that end. That side isn't seen as much because you come into the basement from that side. And the drywall's where you can reach in there and plug stuff in, especially like the heater and stuff like that. But again, gap back here that goes down for the heater to breathe. Same thing up there. Plus it's a nice little backer board so things shouldn't be able to fall back down in there. So I just think now that it's about time to start wrapping with the drywall. All right, here's another shot of it. Try to zoom out. Something else I'm gonna add here, like I'm gonna put a little door. I'm gonna have to run electricity, because right now it's just an extension cord running through the ceiling, which honestly is not safe. I do have a new sub panel I installed, so I'll be able to run wire over here from a breaker without too much effort, just some time. I'll try to run an outlet down here, maybe even a couple, and I'll have a little door here, I feel like, which I guess I just explained this a minute ago. So I wanted it just a little bit smaller. I didn't want it to be the whole side, and it'll probably just be a door that goes over it out of some kind of maybe 2x4s all hooked together. I'm not really too sure yet, but we'll get there when we get there. I just wanted to show you putting this on this side. This will be the door here. My first piece of drywall going up. I had to cut around the little trim there. No big deal with the oscillating saw. Now I do wish I would have left, even though it would have been weak, a piece of drywall right here on the edge. Hindsight's 20/20 though, as you know. Looks like this screw I see now needs to be sucked down a little bit more. There's a little bit of a gap there. Anyway. All right, so my hole here is not perfect, and the paper kind of makes it look a little rougher. However, a door is going to be over it, and it's going to be painted, so won't be that big of a deal. But here's my little hole that I was talking about. I can open up a little door over this for plugins and stuff to be there. And you can see I got the drywall on the other side. All right, so I did some trimming on this corner here to make it a little more flat. I'll put some corner trim over it, obviously, to make that look nicer. And some of the spots where you have like between the wood and the drywall, I'm gonna try to put a little bit of mud in there and hope it stays. I don't know how well that'll work, but we'll see. But I'm just still continuing on putting drywall. I got some across the bottom. You can kind of tell there. All right, so I think I got all the drywall on that I need to get on. Coming together. Gotta do some taping and mudding to fill up some of those gaps and see where we get there. So I went through, did my first coat of screw holes and then lightly in the gaps like I told you I was gonna try. Now I'm doing tape right here where this wood and the drywall kind of meets each other. This is the self-adhesive tape, which I like more than the other kind, but each to their own. You can get whatever you want to use. Make sure I get it all on there. It's nice and flat everywhere. And then I can go through and do another coat over the tape. So at this point I've done 2 layers of mud. It's starting to look pretty good. There's gonna be quite a bit of finish sanding, but I'm really liking how it's looking so far. So it's still a disaster down here. This is the next day. I know I got a horrible mess to clean up, but that's what it looks like. 2 coats of paint on it. I got it mudded and everything. There's some minor imperfections I'm gonna try to fix with like some paintable silicone, like right there on the corner and stuff like that. However, we're just making it from scratch, no plans or nothing like that. Hopefully it gives you some good ideas, and I'll try to add also on the end of this video somewhere what it looks like with everything on it before I upload the video. There's going to be a little door. I'll use probably some type of plywood or 2x4s or something like that to make a nice little door there. And I also got some trim there that'll go in the corner. Here's a little shot with the fireplace put into it. All right, so there's still a few different cords up on top, but this is what it looked like all done. Pretty happy with it. Got the Roku speakers up there on the side. Pretty well, all the cords are hidden. Got this from Amazon. I had a whole bunch of cords in here. It's the electrical outlet I said I was gonna put in there, and also and an outlet right there. And that's what we got. Thanks for watching. See y'all later. Bye-bye.